Hi everyone, this is Rachel.
And this is Christine. Welcome to The Thrive, a podcast for working moms.
And we're talking to all of the moms out there, working from home, working a 9 to 5, working as a CEO of your household, because at the end of the day, all moms are working moms.
And we invite you to share in our stories, celebrate the victories, laugh through the tough times, get advice, and to know that we aren't alone, to thrive in our everyday life. On this episode, we'll tell you a little bit about ourselves, where we've come from, and maybe where we think we're going.
I'm Rachel Klein. I was Lancaster born and raised, and I have two crazy little girls. Right now I'm juggling a 1 and a 2-year-old and running my own marketing/web design business while being a wife, a friend, a mom, and trying to keep from drowning in my laundry.
The struggle is real.
Hashtag, it really is.
And I'm Christine Campbell. I've been in Lancaster for 9 years now, but I'm originally from New Jersey. I'm a new mom to an almost 8-month-old little girl, and I just recently returned to my full-time job as a second grade teacher. I try to mix in a little bit of cooking and cleaning with lesson plans and nursing my baby girl. It's definitely a full and busy life.
So we wanted to share a little bit about our friendship because a lot of people assume that we've known each other for a long time. And I don't know if it's just because we hang out a lot and Christine just makes me laugh. I don't know if it's just because she's funny and we just easily can, banter, go back and forth. And
it seems like we've been friends for years.
Yeah, I mean, I would agree. It feels like we've been friends a long time.
But the truth is we met in September.
Yeah.
Just a few months ago.
It was actually at a small women's Bible study group. We're still part of it. And I think the first time we met, you were late, which is unusual.
I wasn't late.
I was late?
I was the first one. And there it is. No, I was the first one, besides the leader. You came in late, but you had your little girl, so...
Okay, well, maybe that's why my memory isn't quite as good. I had to bring my little one that night, who wasn't quite one at the time. I think she actually slept a good bit of it.
She did. She was so sweet, and she just stayed in her carrier for most of the time. And, yeah, she slept. And so... we were doing introductions because this was our first time meeting together. And Rachel shared that she had gone to college, undergrad, in a little school that is actually in my hometown. And so immediately I thought...
Fairleigh Dickinson.
Wow, shout out. I thought, wow, this is so neat. Someone from Lancaster knows my hometown and where I came from. And so that kind of sparked some conversation. And then
I never meet anybody from there either. Like, I went to school in New Jersey, and... in this area, a lot of people are like, oh, New Jersey. And all they think of is the Jersey Shore and,
or Newark Airport, and that's what people know of New Jersey.
Yeah, so no one understands, like, New Jersey's a nice place.
It is.
I'll say that. I spent a lot of time there, and, I used to always have to defend New Jersey.
It's a beautiful place. We have everything.
Especially, like, northern New Jersey, like the Morris County area, like where I went to school. Yeah, cute little town where my college was, and it was just so weird because... you knew, like, the pizza place I went to and the tanning salon I worked at. And it was
weird.
So
it's my
weird.
town. It's weird that you knew it.
Yeah, that is true. You're probably like, who is this? Like,
no, it was so exciting. So we talked about that, and I feel like the rest of the group was probably at a loss. They were just letting us go off on tangents. But I then mentioned my LuLaRoe videos.
Yes.
That I enjoyed watching because I was home on maternity leave. I had a newborn at that point. And so I spent a lot of time just cuddling my little infant.
Going down the YouTube bunny trail.
Of watching videos of, girls selling LuLaRoe. Mostly I was just fascinated with this whole culture of online selling and the retail industry of people showing the clothes and trying them on. It just still fascinates me. So I shared that, and Rachel immediately thought that I was the most exciting person because this is how I spend my free time.
Well, I was intrigued because I had never even known that there were YouTube videos of LuLaRoe sellers trying things on. Some of them were really quite entertaining. They'd be like, this one's a beautiful pattern. And some of them were actually kind of sarcastic, which was great because, I'm not bashing LuLaRoe, and my mom has some cute LuLaRoe items that, they're
it's really great clothing, but there are some people in the business that probably just have a, salty taste based, and so they were a
and
little
I mean,
facetious.
some of those patterns, let's be real, some of them are a little crazy.
Yes.
So yeah, I think the very next day you sent me some links.
A few videos.
You're like, I was actually at work. Like, I only work out of the office, like out of the home, like a couple of days a week. But I was in the office that day, and you sent me some links. I'm trying to get my work done, and you were like, you have to watch this. It's so funny.
Watch this.
And then I got sucked in and was like, oh my gosh, I need to be working. But I got sucked into the LuLaRoe videos. And I think you sent me one from some girl that was like 21 reasons to like work for LuLaRoe. And
she did not want to work for them anymore.
I mean, one of the reasons was the fabulous patterns.
It's quite exciting. So that was kind of where this friendship started, and it's just blossomed ever since. And just the neat thing for me to be a new mom and being home on maternity leave, a whole new world, just being able to connect with somebody else, with young girls, someone that has been through what I was currently going through, was just really neat to have someone there alongside me to ask questions to. And I remember one of the first times we got together, we just got lunch at Grand Central.
Yeah.
And Reagan was there just running around in circles. And I remember, I think she put rocks in your cup of whatever you were drinking. And I think your
she
little
put
girl,
rocks in my iced coffee.
Your little girl might have been putting rocks in her mouth. And you were just so calm and collected. And I'm just like, okay, this mom, she has it together, because you were just like, go with the flow. And sometimes life means that there are rocks in your drink, and you just got to go with it. And so
that's a really good way of putting it. And I'm glad that I came across that way, because there are times, we'll probably share some funny stories about my 2-year-old over time, because let's just say she's really busy.
She's funky.
She keeps you on your toes. I know everyone says, it's the terrible twos, and, all kids have a phase. Yeah. But mine was just kind of like born into that phase. Like from the minute she could walk at 9 months, she was just into things, and she crawled out of her crib by about 1 year old. By 18 months, we had to have her in a toddler bed. I know people that still have their like 2.5 or 3 year olds in a crib, or, whatever.
Yeah.
And she has just, she just keeps me busy. And I probably felt the opposite when we had lunch that day. I was probably like, oh my gosh, she thinks I'm nuts, and she probably thinks I don't discipline my children, because I feel like in a public place, there's only so much you can do.
No, that's hard. No judgment here. And that's something I've definitely learned, is that everyone just does what they need to do in the moment to get through it. And public places, those are difficult places to go with children.
Well, they are, because there's the people that, might think you're not disciplining, and then there's the people that might think you're disciplining too hard. And at the end of the day, you just have to do what works for your kids and not care what other people think. And I know that you just, as a mom, you've got to do what works for you. But it's still hard. And I think that, just to be honest, like sometimes when you have a busy child that's into everything and, taking things off of the rack, or just wanting to run around the store, it can be frustrating. But you can either let yourself get frustrated, which I love my dear husband, but he does not spend nearly as much time with the children as I do. So, I mean, it's easy for him to get frustrated with, our 2-year-old, because of, just how into things she can be. But I have just learned that if you keep her busy with something productive, let her push the little shopping cart, or
she's such an imagination.
Yeah,
she's
give her something to imagine, and then it's a different story.
Absolutely. And something that someone told me once about when you're in public with your kids, and for me, it would just be a screaming infant, is that it always seems worse to you. It always seems more chaotic to you. And most of the people around you are parents or have been around children. And so they know what you're going through. It just feels worse in the moment when, I don't know, your little one has had a blowout and there's poop everywhere in the car seat, and you're just trying to get
any experience.
You're just trying to get into Costco, and there's, a situation. It's happened to me about 4 times. It just feels worse to you. Everybody else around you knows.
Like no one else knows.
They give you that sympathetic nod, though, if they notice, like, well, I
feel like people that have had kids, like they know, they understand, but people on the outside, unless they're really like paying attention to you and your kids, they probably don't even notice.
Yes.
So that's something, I think I had like an aha moment when I only had one child. It was when Reagan was really little. She was screaming and screaming in the car. And I was just like, oh my gosh, I think I was like at the drive-thru at the bank or something. And I was like, they're going to think I'm like killing my child. Like they're going to think something is wrong. Like,
Right.
she is just screaming and screaming. And then she was still crying and I had to stop somewhere else. And I remember I parked the car and I got out to get her out. But in like that brief moment of like closing my car door to get her out, I was like, I don't hear a single thing. Like I thought
Magic car.
It felt like she was screaming so loud that like you literally get to the point you're paranoid that like people all around you can tell your child is having a meltdown.
What kind of car do you have? I feel like I need to get this car.
I think I had my Santa Fe at the time.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
But I just remember like thinking like, okay, it isn't as bad as I think it is. Yeah. From the outside, no one even knows that my kid is crying. Right. And I need to get it together because I probably look flustered and I'm probably upset. But you know what? This isn't as bad as I thought it was 2 seconds ago.
Well, and there was that video once I saw trending about an experience a mom had with her children throughout the day and all of the mom's perspective on it, that the kids are crying and there's a mess and you have to go through the grocery store and they're pulling things off the rack and the mom just feels spent by the end of the day. And then flip to the child's view of it. She's recounting the day to her dad and says it was the most amazing day and mom cuddled her and they got to go shopping together. And it was such a nice reminder to stop and pause that even when it feels like this chaos to us, no matter what age your kids are or what experience you're having with them, it just might in the moment feel more tense, but your kids are really seeing the way you love them and seeing your interaction with them and your experiences with them. And so not to be too hard on ourselves that, oh my goodness, it's going crazy. But
I actually, on that note, just different perspectives on, momming and parenting. Today, I'm part of a mastermind group, which I absolutely love. Shout out to Inspire Business Community.
Yeah, I need to be a part of this. I want to mastermind with you ladies.
Oh my gosh, it's so fun. It's just a group of, other women that are either, sort of trying to start their own business, or maybe some of us already have had something going for a little while, and we bounce ideas also off of each other and, just encourage each other through this journey. But one of the things our business coach mentioned today was that in a study, it was like a collegiate, it's a legit study. I don't remember the name of it, but they studied full-time working moms, like working at 9 to 5, and stay-at-home moms, part-time working moms, and they found that the biggest difference in how children turned out, or like how children, I don't know if they like asked children to like describe their childhood. I'm not exactly sure when they conducted the research, but basically like the biggest factor on how your kids turn out is not how much you're with them or how much you work, but the biggest factor was how happy the mom was. So you could be working 9 to 5, but you come home and you're in a great mood, and your kids are going to remember that, and they're going to remember the quality time they had with you. Or, you could be a stay-at-home mom and you get tons of time with your kids, but if you're miserable, that's what they're going to remember.
They know that. Yeah. That's so good to remember, because I know a lot of women, moms that I work with full-time teaching, who have that feeling of, am I being that full-time mom as well as a full-time teacher? Mm-hmm. And that's a hard balance, but that's really good to hear that in the end, that quality of the time and your attitude when you're with your children is what's going to leave a lasting impression, and not the hours in the day, because not all moms are in that position. And
it's totally different for everybody.
Yeah.
Even travel time. I mean, I know that my mom, she was actually a teacher as well. She still is. This is her very last year.
Whoop, whoop. Shout out to retirement.
Yeah, retiring, and then I get to have her as my babysitter. So,
win-win.
Yeah, win for everybody. But I remember as a teacher, she didn't have crazy long days because she did a lot of her prep and things like that she could do, at home in the evenings. But she had quite a commute, like a good 35 to 40 minute drive. So in the mornings, I remember she left really early. And I actually went to a babysitter for a little bit, and she put me on my bus and things like that. But I remember my mom always made me breakfast, and I always remember my mom, she was never really rushed. And that's something I'm currently working on because I know that when someone's rushing, it can kind of pass the stress on to the others involved.
Yeah.
And I will be up front. I run late. So as my kids are getting, as my kids are getting older, you know, I just signed Reagan up for preschool. I want to get better about like being on time because I want to make sure that like we get quality time in the mornings. Because I remember like my mom would have, you know, she'd have her act together. Like she was dressed and ready to go by the time I even got up. And then I remember if we wanted something for breakfast, like for the most part, maybe not every day, but she would have time to actually like make us, you know, eggs or whatever or oatmeal. And I feel like there's days like the days I actually have to get out of the house early, I'm like, okay, here's a banana, here's a Pop-Tart. And like, I don't want that to always be the case. So I would say for me, like if we're talking about personal struggles, I know we were going to talk about like our new favorite things, but if we're talking about
our new struggle,
weekly struggle, no, it's ongoing for me. I don't know. I just have realized the value of like having that on time, like that peace you get with on time in the morning. Because I don't want that to be like a stressful thing for my kids.
Absolutely. And that's good, a goal to work towards. And even if it's something you're not used to, it's going to take some time to get into that routine. But wonderful that you have that example of what your mom did and how it affected you and that just peaceful feeling it gave you that you want to try to create that with your girls. What I don't
understand is like, if I grew up that way, why did I become so late? Why did I become the late person?
Okay, so you're not going to always be exactly like your mom, but I remember when I was little, my mom, I don't know, she had breakfast for me, but I was the grump. And so I feel like my mom just needed to give me my space because I was on my own schedule and needed to just wake up on my own, just like my daughter. She definitely needs to wake up on her own or she's a little bit of a grump.
Oh my goodness. She sleeps so well,
She sleeps so great. Yeah.
I just, you know, Christine, you have the best baby.
I know. She's so good. If I could have a million more like her, I would. But chances are a second child that I have in the future is going to be like I was as the second child and a lot more work.
Oh, so, you weren't an easy baby?
No. Well, no, my brother was so great. And then there was me. No, I was good. I just think he was a lot more even keel his whole life, and I just was a little bit more.
You're a girl.
Oh, jazzy, you know. Yeah, gotta love my patient mom. So, yeah, I was just a little different. So we'll see.
We'll leave it at that.
I'll enjoy Nora for now and her goodness. So, are we sharing struggles? Because
yeah, I mean, I did. It just kind of came out.
Thing.
Well, you could share your new thing.
Because we're sitting in my new thing, which is this new house that I have.
Yes, let's talk about it.
And so, I mean, I have tons of struggles. Like if you saw our Instagram on our Insta story, my 80-day obsession working out, which is not working out, but we'll come back to that at a later date, maybe once I've started it. So anyway, my husband and I just moved to a new home, and we've been in this for about a week now, and it's been a whirlwind of 2 months, selling our home, living in a rental, moving our whole home into a house, but now for the first time since, when did we move out of our home? December 16th, we finally feel...
I didn't realize it was that long.
Yes. Like 2 months. We feel like we can breathe. And it's been quite a transition. I'm sure a lot of you listening have been through some kind of move, either when you first got married. I don't know how moms do it as a pregnant mom or moving into a new house or with kids that can walk. It definitely is an undertaking, but we're here now and I can just enjoy slowly unmoving boxes, which will take some time. We actually had movers come and help us.
Yeah, that was fantastic.
Yes, it was quite a hit to the wallet, but I would do it again because it made the day so much easier. And Rachel was here when we were moving, and
it was great. Like we just stood here. They brought boxes in. We unpacked them.
We unpacked. Rachel unpacked, and I just tried my best to help tell where to put things. And my husband kept coming in and saying, "Christine, you got to tell the movers where to put stuff." And I just think I was a little overwhelmed and in a good way of, wow, all my stuff is here and we're in our home. Yeah.
I think the big part was that for the past 2 months, you guys were in this rental.
Yes.
And most of your things were in storage. Mm-hmm. So as things were coming in, it was like, oh my gosh, I haven't even seen that in 2 months. I forgot I had all this stuff.
My couch, my dresser. Yeah. Most of it. Except for the dresser that didn't make it that
You guys lost one?
Well, here's the thing, guys. IKEA furniture is wonderful, but it's probably not built to sustain several moves. And so this piece of furniture my husband had in some apartments of his before we got married. So it
had a few years on it.
It had a few years on it. And when they moved it from the truck, trying to get it into the storage building, I was not there, but I think it just literally collapsed. And so they got rid of it, except for a few drawers, because my handy-dandy father kept the drawers because he said, you never know when you might need one of these doorknobs. So we have them in the garage.
That's awesome.
We have a few pieces of that lost dresser. But yes, everything is here now. We're in our new home. We're just so thankful. It's such a gift. And my husband and I just love this journey that God has put us on in this new home, a new neighborhood.
And it's beautiful. It is really nice. And it's nice to have space.
It is. And it's a nice island that we have here to sit for our podcasting. So I'm so glad that you could join me in our new kitchen.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, it's great. I have always wanted a huge island, and we'll have to share some pictures. So follow us on Instagram. It's at The Thrive Podcast. We might have to share some pictures of the island and this awesome kitchen at some point. So new things. I mean, your whole house is new.
Our whole house is new. But most of the stuff in it is stuff that we owned before. It's kind of hard not to want to go out and buy new everything. But
yeah, I think you kind of have to prioritize. Like, you really have to prioritize when you're moving, because I think things add up really quick.
They do. And I've gotten a few little things here and there. Love Home Goods, Marshalls, TJ Maxx.
I would love
all the like.
I would love to know if you guys have like home goods stores that you love, because I think we both kind of have a passion for like home goods stores.
We do. Well, and I just read that.
If there are any local places or like places that you found online, we would love to hear your comments about your favorite places for home goods and suggestions.
Yeah, where you get some nifty finds. I even try to do some antiquing.
Yeah, you do that. You're better at that.
Well, so I feel like I'm not good at antiquing, but it's just going to antique stores. But I think because it's such a thing, I feel like I'm not doing it right.
Is there a right way to go
antiquing? No, I don't know. But
do you feel like you're not finding like the type of items you're going for?
Maybe. And here's my problem. I think I watch Fixer Upper too much, and Joanna Gaines goes, and first of all, she looks so cute when she goes to
they only record when she goes into the store and finds like the things she needs.
I know. So I went to an antique store one time by myself, and I think the biggest mistake I made, that it was about 5 degrees outside, and so they had all these great pieces outside, and the wind is blowing. I think I had tears running down my face because it was so cold, and I didn't have a really great jacket on at the time either, because I'm like, I'll just run in.
Yeah.
And so I'm trying to dig through these boxes out on their front stoop, and it's freezing out, and I just found a box, and I just bought it because it was like the first thing I grabbed, and I was a little bit stressed. And so I don't think my antiquing was where it needed to be.
Yeah.
So I'm going to work towards
step it up.
I'm going to step up my antiquing.
I'm like the opposite when I shop. I don't go antiquing much, but I feel like I can walk around a store like 14 times before I decide like which things I want. I'll be like, okay, I'm going to come back to that. But I really do come back to it. Like when I go to a craft show or something, like I love all of those, the Creatively Lancaster markets that they've been doing this year. They've got all of these awesome like local vendors and things, and I love doing things like that. And a lot of times, you'll get talking with the person that like makes things, and sometimes you just feel a little bit guilty and you're like, oh, I'll come back. But really, when I say that, typically I do come back.
You do come back.
It's just that
you're a loyal shopper.
Yeah, but I just want to see all the things before I decide.
Yes.
And I had to do that the other day. I just got this new bag. I decided I needed a bag. I don't know about you guys, but I feel like a purse is like a serious investment. You carry it every day, so it should be nice. I don't know. I'm sure there's people that don't care about their purse so much. But for me, like I use a purse really hard.
Yeah.
So I want to find something that's sturdy, like the handles aren't going to fall off. And I needed something big enough for my laptop, and so that I could just use it as my work bag and just like my go-to. So I feel like I was in the store forever, and I was luckily kid-free.
I was just going to ask you about that. Yeah, because I enjoy doing, a few laps around a store every now and then. But if you have 2 little ones with you, it's probably not as easy.
Oh, no. If I have both of them, I go to Costco because it's the only place that has the double carts. Oh. They can both sit in the top of the cart.
I just noticed that the other day. Robert said, oh, look, there's 2 carts. And I said, oh, look, we only have 1 baby. Slow down. So we put her
Yeah,
in
you
the
can
one
put her
side.
like on the side, or you could put her in the middle.
I thought so. I put her in the middle, and he said you had to move her.
No.
New parents, I don't know. So I moved her over, and that was after
you can
she
put
had
her in the middle.
She had a blowout. And
Oh.
so we changed her, then had to figure out what side of the cart to put her on.
Put her in a box. I don't know.
Oh, she would love that. She's
Put
all
some
about
cardboard
it.
down first.
She'd be looking around, seeing all her friends.
Oh my gosh.
Anyway, you found a good purse?
I did find a good purse. It holds all the stuff that I need.
Good.
Holds all the things.
All the things and probably all the things you don't need because
Yes, that is true.
stuff accumulates.
Oh yeah. So, I mean, this was really fun.
This was good.
I hope that you guys,
Yeah.
tune in again next week.
Absolutely. I'm sure we'll come up with some more things to chat about. I know this weekend coming up, Robert and I have a wedding we're going to. A good friend of his from college is getting married, so we're headed up north. Hopefully the weather still thinks it's spring.
Yeah, it's been crazy. I saw a meme and it was
know.
like, only in Pennsylvania will you wear like snow boots and like flip-flops in the same week or something like that.
I wore sandals
Because-
today to work again. I'm living in the spring.
It's been crazy. My kids were in like rompers and like skirts the other day with like bare feet in the backyard.
It's awesome.
Yeah, it was great. I mean, baths. Oh my gosh, our bathtub was like brown because it's so muddy.
That means that you had a good day.
Yeah, it was a good day though. And then today it was freezing though. I can't believe you wore sandals today. It was cold
I did.
again.
And it was raining, and I didn't have a coat out when I took the kids to the buses. But I love flip flops, and so the slightest hint of warm weather, I'm in flip flops.
What are you wearing to the wedding?
Yeah, probably
Is it a
not
fancy
flip-flops.
wedding?
I'm not sure. I think I'm going to wear the one dress that fits me, postpartum. So I'm going to rock that.
We all have that one dress.
And that one dress, that's black, obviously. Jazz it up with some jewelry. I don't know. And I'm just kind of hoping I can go barefoot.
That'd be fun.
I don't know. It's in...
Oh, like on the dance floor. I
Yes.
feel like usually once the dancing starts, the shoes come off.
We're going to cut a rug. So I don't know, maybe some sneakers up until then.
Ooh.
No, I'll find something. So we just moved, and I think this afternoon I found a box, and I think there are some dress shoes in that box that were in my daughter's room in the closet. So I'll have to rummage through that and find something. But
if you don't have any, you can always go to Target.
I can't, well...
The other place I shop at.
Struggle is real. I have a wide foot, and so it's really hard to find shoes. I do Zappos a lot because they...
Oh, I've heard.
Do you do those?
Yeah. They have a lot of
Great.
sizes, right?
A lot of sizes. Shout out to Zappos. Free shipping and free returns. It's just as easy as Amazon. And you can get several pairs shipped to your door, try them on, and then send back any and all that you don't want. Super easy.
That is really cool.
Yep.
I don't do a whole lot of online like clothes shopping.
I'm all about it.
I just feel like I've got to try on first.
Well, I do, and then I send it back if I don't want it. It's just you have to get to the post office. But
Yeah.
well, the moral of the story is I don't have time to order new shoes for Saturday. It's
That is
Thursday,
true.
so whatever I
The
have
moral
left
of
to
the
work.
story is I don't have time to go to the post office. I think that we need to wrap it up because we are both getting a little,
I think so.
sleep deprived, crazy over here. Isn't that just the story of our lives?
It is every night at about 7.
And it's like 9:30 now. It's past that. It's getting late for us, guys.
Late night for moms over here.
So no matter what time of day you happen to be listening to us, we hope you could relate to something at some point. We just want to be real and share the struggles, share the joys, and we would just love to connect with you, and we'll tell you how to do that in just a second.
And moms, in case no one told you yet today, you are doing amazing. Hey moms, we would love to connect with you this week on social media.
You can find us on Instagram at The Thrive Podcast or email us at thrivepodcastlancaster@gmail.com.
For more information on Rachel, you can follow her at Rachel Klein Creative.
And you can get to know Christina a little better at The Whistler Company. We would love to get to know you guys better, and we are always looking for new topics and ideas.